عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول حي على الصلاة حي على حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له، وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء، واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم، ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار ثم أما بعد عباد الله أيها الإخوة والأخوات أيها المسلمون أيها المؤمنون أوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله تعالى واعلموا أن من اتقى الله عز وجل أرشده إلى الخير في دينه ودنياه. والتقوى عباد الله امتثال أوامر الله عز وجل رجاء ثوابه واجتناب ما نهى الله عنه خيفة عذابه. All praise belongs to Allah Azza wa Jal. We praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every day. We seek the help of Allah Azza wa Jal. We seek the forgiveness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every day. We bear witness that none has the right to be worshipped except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is his final prophet and messenger. I advise myself first and foremost with the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I advise all of my brothers and sisters with the same, to have taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That taqwa means to be mindful and aware and conscious of Allah Azza wa Jal at all times. This taqwa helps a person fulfill the obligations they have to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This taqwa helps a person control themselves in the face of disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, the month of taqwa has passed us. And that's the way we should look at it, as the month of taqwa, because Allah mentions the main purpose of Ramadan is لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ. The month of taqwa has gone. The beautiful month, our beautiful visitor, our beautiful guest has passed us by. The beautiful day of Eid has come and gone and passed us by also. Yet the beautiful deen of Islam remains. The beautiful way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remains every day. The beautiful book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is still here. The month of the Quran has passed. But the Muslim who lives by the Quran is forever. The one who implements the Quran in Ramadan and after Ramadan is still here. Every day is a day of the Quran. Every day is a day of obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and salah and siyam. Allah gives us Ramadan as a gift. But we all know gifts come and go. And we all know the feeling we have about a gift is strongest when we first get the gift. And slowly the feeling gets weaker and weaker. And now, after Ramadan, what do we do? For the next 11 months, until the next Ramadan comes, do not make it a time where you drop back down to a lower level than you were in Ramadan. Do not make it a time where you go back to your old ways and your old habits. Make it a time where you are continuing whatever goodness you attain in Ramadan. Make it a time where you continue whatever good habits you started in Ramadan. It's not going to be at the same level as it was in Ramadan. Ramadan is special for a reason. But some of the acts, some of the habits you picked up in Ramadan must continue after Ramadan. And one of the things you have to focus on after Ramadan is to ask Allah to accept your fasting, to ask Allah to accept your qiyam and your tarawih and your tahajjud and how much Quran you recited and how much Quran you memorized and how much sadaqah you gave and the zakah you gave and the zakatul fitr that you gave and the help that you presented to your brothers and sisters. This is a time to ask Allah to accept all of those deeds. This is one of the main reasons the dua we give each other on the day of Eid is تَقَبَّلَ اللَّهُ مِنَّا وَمِنْكُمْ. May Allah accept from us and from you. Because you just finished a great month of ibadah. Yet, do you know if Allah accepted your deeds or not? We do not know that, but we try our best to be from those whom Allah accepts from. And Allah says in the Quran, إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. That indeed Allah accepts from al-muttaqeen. The same word, brothers and sisters. لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. Taqwa is mentioned in the Quran so many times, in so many different forms, because of its importance in the life of a Muslim. إِنَّمَا يَتَقَبَّلُ اللَّهُ مِنَ الْمُتَّقِينَ. Indeed, Allah accepts the deeds from those who are muttaqeen, those who have taqwa, those who are conscious and mindful of Allah Azza wa Jal at all times. The purpose of Ramadan is taqwa. Allah accepts from those who have taqwa. You cannot escape taqwa as a Muslim. It has on your mind and everything you do as a Muslim. As soon as you wake up, make wudu, to make salah, you must be mindful of Allah Azza wa Jalla. As soon as you say Allahu Akbar, you must be mindful of Allah. You just mentioned His name as the one who is the greatest and the one who is greater than anything in existence. Allahu Akbar, Allah Azza wa Jalla must be on your mind. When you make sajda, Allah Azza wa Jalla must be on your mind. Allah the Most High must be on your mind when your forehead is on the lowest parts of the ground, of the earth. Allah Azza wa Jalla must be on your mind. This is taqwa. This is what drives you. This is what removes you from your bed in the morning to make your wudu and make your salah. This is what takes you into your car to drive to the masjid, to go to Salat al-Jum'ah, or to go to any other prayer. Is that you want to please Allah Azza wa Jalla. And you know Allah has obligated this upon you. So you want to do that and fulfill the obligation Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put upon you. Again, one of the main things we are to do now is to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our deeds. The Sahaba and the Tabi'een and the Salaf, they used to ask Allah to accept their Ramadan for the next 6 months after Ramadan is finished. Because they were so worried. They were so worried that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept their deeds, that they did not do to the best of their abilities, even though they were the best of people and the most pious amongst us, and the ones who have the most taqwa. They were with Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. How can they not be from the best worshippers of Allah Azza wa Jal? Yet they were worried, they were concerned that their deeds will not be accepted. One of the Sahaba, I believe it was Umar ibn al-Khattab radiallahu anhu, he said, if I knew that Allah accepts one sajda of mine, just one sajda, I can live a happy life. I can live out the rest of my days happy. That if I know that Allah has accepted just one of my sajdas on the ground. How many sajdas do we make with our mind aware that Allah is watching us? How many sajdas do we make sincerely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How many times do we say Allahu Akbar for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jalla? How many times do we fast for the sole purpose that this is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Everything else I can gain from the dunya, I push to the side. I don't want anything from the dunya. If it comes, it comes. That's not my intention. How important is the intention when we are fasting? How important is the intention when we are praying, when we are giving sadaqah? In a hadith, the Prophet ﷺ, he mentions 3 types of people that will be thrown into Jahannam first on the Day of Judgment. And all of them is because of their intention. The person who gave sadaqah, he will be asked, why did you give sadaqah? He will say, I gave sadaqah for your sake, Ya Allah. He will be told, no, you are lying. You gave sadaqah because you wanted people to say you are generous. He will be dragged and thrown into Jahannam. A person who teaches Islamic knowledge, Quran, a person who teaches, he will be asked, why are you teaching the people? He will say, I taught. The second one is the mujahid actually. A person who went for jihad. He will be asked, why did you go for jihad? He will say, I went for your sake, Ya Allah, to fight in your way. He will be told, no, you are lying. You went for jihad so that people can say, you are brave, you are courageous. He will be taken and thrown into Jahannam. And the third one is the one who recites the Quran. He will be asked, why did you learn and recite the Quran? He will say, I did it for your sake, Ya Allah. He will be told, no, you did it, you are lying, you did it because you want the people to say you have a beautiful voice and you recite well. He will be taken and thrown into Jahannam. All of these are Muslims. And all of them are punished this way because of their corrupt intention. When you fast, remind yourself why you are fasting. Remove anything from the dunya aside and fast for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Your siyam, your sadaqah, everything you do, clear your mind. Clear your intention and put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in front of you. The month of Ramadan has finished. The month of Qiyam has finished. The month of Sadaqat. The month of Quran. But the life of the Muslim still has these things continuing. We did Qiyam and Taraweeh and Tahajjud in Ramadan. We did our 5 daily prayers, but Salah is still continuing, brothers and sisters. Your 5 daily prayers are a season in itself. Your 5 daily prayers are a season in itself. Every day you have the opportunity 5 times to stand in front of Allah. You stood in Ramadan for 1 month, and that was a pillar of Islam. You have a pillar of Islam that comes to you 5 times a day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, حافظوا على الصلاة على الصلوات والصلاة الوسطى وقوموا لله قانتين. Allah says, protect, preserve, take care of your prayers. Allah emphasizes the prayers, and within the prayers, وَالصَّلَاةُ الْوُسْطَى, the middle prayer, which is Salat al-Asr, when we are all out and earning and working and living and playing. Don't forget about the middle salah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala emphasizes Salat al-Asr. You have this season, every single day, this opportunity to return to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the fasting is done, but salah continues. The Taraweeh and the Tahajjud of Ramadan is finished, but the Tahajjud of every day is still there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ عَسَىٰ أَنْ يَبْعَثُكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. Allah mentions Tahajjud in the Quran. Yes, it's mentioned in Ramadan and emphasized in Ramadan, but it is also emphasized for the rest of your life. وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ. And from the night, a small portion of the night, it doesn't have to be an hour or 2. وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ, a small portion of the night, فَتَهَجَّدْ. Pray tahajjud at night, nafila, an extra, optional prayer you don't have to do. It's optional if you want the goodness of it. It's optional if you want the barakah of it. So that Allah may resurrect you in good standing on the day of judgment. Because you stood up in the night when everyone is sleeping. When the entire world is sleeping, you stood up. And you also know that Allah Azza wa Jal descends in the last third of the night to see who is awake, who is up, who is asking Allah so that Allah may give him, who is asking for forgiveness so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may forgive them, who is calling upon Allah so that Allah may answer them. Allah descends every single night to the lowest part of the heavens, to the closest part to the earth, then the last third of the night, and Allah is looking to who is awake so that He may give them something special. Every night, Yes, Ramadan is over, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is still there. The one who gave you all that khair and barakah in Ramadan is the one who gives you the khair also today and tomorrow and tonight and next week and the next month. All that khair was put there by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And He's able to give you much, much more if you continue on your path that you started in Ramadan. The fasting of Ramadan is done, but the fasting of the Muslim is not done. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, من صام رمضان ثم أتبعه ستا من شوال كان له كصيام الدهر. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, whoever fasts Ramadan. That's number one. You fasted in Ramadan. You completed your month of fasting. So Rasulullah wants to encourage us to keep going immediately after the day of Eid. من صام رمضان ثم أتبعه ستا من شوال. Whoever fasts Ramadan and then follows it up with 6 days in Shawwal, he will get the reward as if he fasted the entire year. Islam wants you to keep going. Allah Azza wa Jalla wants you to keep going. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wants you to keep going, to keep earning. To keep earning for yourself, for your book. So when your book is handed to you on the day of judgment, it is given to you in your right hand. And you will be successful. May Allah Azza wa Jalla accept all of our deeds from Ramadan and after Ramadan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from al-muttaqeen. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, this is the reality of a mu'min. This is the reality of a mu'min. Every day he sees good in it. Every day he or she sees the goodness in whatever is in your path. Whatever type of life you have, whatever situation Allah has put you in, you see the positivity in it. You see a chance to make it positive. You see a chance to earn nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see a chance to earn reward. You see a chance to earn forgiveness. You see a chance to earn Jannah. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put khair in your entire life. And this is the reality of a mu'min. As the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he says, the reality of a mu'min is that everything in his life is good and positive. When a good thing happens to him or her, he is thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you went through Ramadan doing the best you can and you improved yourself, be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gave you that opportunity. Do shukr and gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by keeping the good deeds going. And when a mu'min is tested with something difficult and hard in his or her life, they are patient. And this patience is actually also good for you because you remember Allah and you remember that Allah does not give you a test that you cannot handle, and that you remember that Allah is the best of planners and the all-knowing and the all-wise, so you accept and submit to the will that Allah has given you in your life. This is the reality of a mu'min. Everything can be positive and everything can be used as nearness to Allah Azza wa Jalla. And do not forget about dua for yourself, for your family. We have a lot of dua in Ramadan. It does not stop in Ramadan. It continues for yourself in your sujood, at the end of your prayer, while you are fasting, while you are traveling. Dua continues for yourself, your family, your brothers and sisters, and all of our brothers and sisters throughout the world. Our brothers and sisters in Palestine and Gaza, our brothers and sisters in Sudan and India and Pakistan and Chechnya. All of these places, they need your dua. Allah can change their situation in the blink of an eye to something that is better than our situation. And Allah can change our situation one way or the other. So we always keep dua on our minds. And we always ask Allah, the Almighty, the one who is able and capable to do all and change all types of people, He is the one who we are asking for help in all of our lives. May Allah Azza wa Jal give us tawfiq to be from those who are sincere in their amal and from those who are doing their deeds in accordance with the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين. اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ودمر أعداء الدين. اللهم انصر إخواننا المسلمين المؤمنين في فلسطين وفي غزة. اللهم انصر إخواننا المؤمنين المسلمين في فلسطين وفي غزة. اللهم انصرهم نصر عزيز مقتدر يا رب العالمين. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها. اللهم آت نفوسنا تقواها وزكها أنت خير من زكاها أنت وليها ومولاها. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وأقم الصلاة.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا